you.
Sorry, I'll cut that out. Yeah.
I like you. Yeah, I know you will.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Just Jenny TV interview series, where today I'm actually going to be interviewing a dear friend of mine, JAYC RYDER, who has a fantastic and wild story about how he followed his intuition into a completely different career, lifestyle, country, everything. And he's going to introduce himself and tell you that story. But today I really want to focus on, before you find out a little bit more who JAYC is, which is so exciting, I want to put the intention out there that today's episode is to really showcase how you can identify your instincts and your intuition, how you can grow them to become stronger and really build up that muscle of your intuition so that you can never use the excuse of, follow my intuition, I don't know what that means ever again. So JAYC, would you like to introduce yourself and tell the people where they can find you and also your story?
Okay, well, you can find me on Facebook, JAYC RYDER, JAYC RYDER. You just search me for there. That's probably the easiest place for everyone because everyone's on Facebook.
This is true.
So, yes, I am JAYC RYDER. Where to start? Well, Jenny, you've set the bar really high.
I didn't even get into your career yet. So,
so yeah. Well, let me just sort of give you take you back a few steps. I'm currently today, in this moment, sitting in my kitchen in Ukraine. I'm here with my beautiful wife, my Ukrainian wife.
Who's stunning.
Yes, she is. And thank you. And I was born in New Zealand and spent a lot of time in Australia as home. So my story is that I left Australia and came to Ukraine back in 2012. And I'm going to give you some insight into how that all happened. And it was very much based around my intuition. So let's go back in time a few years. Now, in case you're wondering who I am, because yes, I am JAYC RYDER, but so what is it about me that kind of makes me special?
Yeah, for those maybe in the
for those that have no idea who I am.
Who you are, the small handful might not know who you are.
Okay, I'm one of these people that if you try to put me in one box, I jump out of it and I jump into the next box and then I jump into the next box and the next box and the next box and the next box.
I love that.
And then you look at me and you go, I actually had a conversation with one of my old clients today that I haven't spoken to in over 12 months.
Wow.
And she said, I told her what I was doing, and she said, is there anything you don't do?
How cute. I love that.
And so let's see, if you want to give me I'll give you a little list of some business titles of who I am. And okay, we'll start off with, I'm a psychic medium. I'm a business coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a dating coach. Okay. I have, let's see, we've also got the title of spiritual healer. Then we've also got if we just go down the business world a little bit, I've designed and created many multi-million-dollar businesses over the years.
Yes.
In fact, I have an incredibly good business head on me.
Yeah, you do. Very strategic.
Oh, incredibly. I can reverse engineer any situation and then redesign it and make it more efficient.
It's amazing.
I have a web design company. I have a mobile app company. I also have a business financial planning organization as well. And that's the latest adventure.
Okay.
I've always done business planning. Well, now we're doing more of the financial and the international implications of people doing business all around the world and maximizing their return on their investments, minimizing their taxation, empowering their business to get the results that they want. And it's sort of, oh, how can I do all this? Well, it's all through my intuition.
All through intuition. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I study. Yes, I study a lot. I've been studying international tax law over the last 8 weeks in particular. It's actually really fascinating. I know most people look at it and go, yeah, but I'm finding it really fascinating.
You'll have to, maybe you can help me with my taxes.
Easy. That's easy. But the big thing, the reason why on one side I have a very logical side.
Yes.
And on the other side, I have a very connected spiritual side.
Yes.
And what I've developed over the years is a way of bringing the two together.
Yes. And I feel very similar. You guys hear me talk about this, that it's spirit and savvy. But I'm a baby in bringing it together. Whereas Jake is a lot more developed in the area, shall we say, more experienced and, has a lot more wisdom in the area. Whereas I am just taking, I'm still
a few more miles on the clock.
My journey of melding the two together. So I know I have both, but it's bringing them together where I'm working on, and he's got it all figured out. But we're very lucky to have him here today.
I can't say I've got it all figured out. What I say is that I can find a solution for any situation.
I love that.
I am a solution provider. If you want to put one label on me, put a solution provider.
I love that.
Because then whatever is going on. Now, as a psychic medium, some of the things that I've seen, done, and experienced, I'm going to share with you a lot today.
Yes.
More so than some of the business stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what you'll find is, as I tell that story, you'll understand why I can sit here today and actually say this.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is, okay, I have been psychic all my life.
Okay.
I started out as a child.
Uh-huh.
My first real recollection was at my cousin's funeral. He was 10. I was also 10. He died of a hole in the heart. Back then, they couldn't operate.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So I was at his funeral. I threw a rose on his coffin, ran into the big community centre where there were all the tables with all the food on, the big white sheets that cover the table down to the floor. I run and sit under one of the tables and have a good cry. I open my eyes, I look, and he's sitting beside me. Okay, so at this point, I'm either going nuts. I'm not being politically correct here, okay?
That's okay. You can edit that.
Or I can see a ghost.
Yes.
And he goes, yeah, you have a very special gift. You can see things. Others won't understand. So what do I do? Like any good boy, I run out and I tell my mum.
Of course.
And she says, oh, he's in your heart, dear. Of course you can see him.
Oh, yeah. That's a very motherly thing to say.
And it's sort of, yeah.
Like, no, I really saw him.
Now Mum and I talked a lot about the hotline, the connection.
Okay.
But in her world, it wasn't real or anything more than that.
Okay. Yeah.
But in my world, I was having all these intuitive ideas, thoughts, feelings, knowing about things before they would happen.
Tangible to you.
They were incredibly tangible, and I couldn't explain them to anyone.
Yes.
Cut forward into my early 20s, I had major experiences, and boy, did my world change. On one side, I'm working in the corporate world, and on the other side, my walls are changing shape and telling stories to me. I've got ghosts visiting me daily. I couldn't walk through a cemetery. I used to have a girlfriend, and we would walk her dog through the cemetery.
I can't even try.
I couldn't walk through the cemetery without being interrupted by ghosts wanting me to find someone in their family because they were stuck.
Wow.
Now back then there was no internet.
Oh yes.
So I would look people up in the telephone directory.
Yeah.
And I would say, hi, Yeah, this is me. I've got a message for you from such and such a person at this cemetery. I got hung up on a few times and abused a few times. And
But the fact that you called and delivered the messages is so brave.
Well, I wanted to understand what was happening to me as well.
That's fair. All right.
And so I started looking up all the different modalities.
Yes.
And the different methodologies that were happening in the world.
Trying to make sense, yeah.
Try to make sense of it all. Mm-hmm. And I found some things that worked, some things that didn't. And I discovered more about my own skills and abilities. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, I'm still working in the corporate world, running computer systems, running big networks of computers. All sorts of things were happening in that world. Mm-hmm. Having a normal life, learning about business, running businesses and stuff.
Yes. Again, the very logical side, your career was very practical.
Oh, incredibly. And it was very practical up until about 2006. Now, I was still doing all my psychic stuff on the side.
Okay.
I'd do my business during the day. And then I'd be psychic and stuff at night.
Okay. And was this just something, were you charging for sessions at this point?
Yeah.
Where you had realized your gift, owned it, and you started to just...
I was charging minimal amounts because I didn't really have much belief in myself.
Not yet. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Let's be blunt here. Yes. I want to be really blunt here. Most psychics that are charging very low money today have low self-belief.
It's true. It's true. I believe that.
Yeah, you look at the level of skills that the good psychics have, the ones who've got the experience, who've got the ability to give that irrefutable proof. And those are the ones that you pay for.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
But then if you look at a lot of them, unfortunately, they have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that's really sad for the industry.
No, it truly is. It truly is. I will own up to the fact that I have very pushed away a lot of my gifts and not wanting to say no thank you, but times where I become overstimulated. I have some spiritual healing and a few medium gifts, but they come through differently for me. It's more empathic where I feel things, and then I'll get little visualizations of certain things, and the physical sensations in my body I would feel drained or tired or I can't do this, and so I started to slowly just minimize it. And my sister would always push me that I should do it more. And she would actually call me on the night sometimes saying, I'm on the phone with my friend. Here's my sister. Go. And I'm like, oh. But I'm glad she pushed me to do that because it showed me my gifts. But I feel like it's still like a baby. I'm a baby here in this world where it's like I'm still trusting it to not affect me as a human and know that it's energetic, and I'm not disconnecting the two. So anyway, totally just went off the rails for someone who's not.
Okay, well, let me just help you with one little tiny thing.
I would love it. Yes. Okay.
While we're here live, right this second. Yes. Okay, when you look at this video again, I want you to have a look at the energy around your head while you were saying that.
Okay.
Because you were putting it all into your head.
Oh my
and Lord. Your head had this big bubble here that was just... It was
yes, that's what it feels like.
So I have a sign up on our refrigerator, which in Russian, because I've got a Ukrainian wife, she speaks Russian, is called Holodilik.
I'm like...
Just as a sidebar, when Svetlana and I first moved in together, I wanted to learn more Russian words. So she stuck Post-it notes around the house.
How cute.
And she put a Post-it note on the refrigerator and it said Holodilik.
So did it mean refrigerator?
I know, it means refrigerator. Holodilik is refrigerator. Okay. And I'm sort of, why are you getting me to say Holodilik? It's not like it's a word I'm going to use in conversation.
Yes.
Hi, yes, can I have a Holodilik?
Or where is your...
Well, where is your Holodilik?
Yes.
But it's just one of those funny things that what you do when you're in a foreign country and you learn to fit in. Yeah. But we have a saying on our refrigerator that says, and I'm just turning and looking at it now, saying, stop thinking, stop talking, just do it.
Ooh, that's powerful.
And darling, I want you to stop thinking.
Okay.
Stop talking and just do it.
Okay.
Because then that puts it back into your heart. And that's where your power is.
And then I want to cry.
Yeah. I make people cry. It's really fun. And
then I feel that and I'm just like, oh. But then you're right. Doesn't feel heavy. It feels love and peace.
That's it. You're at peace. And see,
right?
You're losing.
Thank
see
you.
how you've lost the ability of those sentences now? Because I'm getting you to stop thinking, stop talking, and just do it. Yes,
which puts me into the do is not like an action feeling for me. It's an instinctive feeling for me. When I hear do, it's like, what does that feel like?
And this is one of the most important parts of the journey and the lessons of today's video.
Okay. Yep.
As most people will go, I'm going to have to think about this. Yeah. Now I'm going to have to talk to all my friends on Facebook and get all their opinions. And then I'm going to take all 57 opinions and I'm going to throw them all up in the air and get even more overwhelmed and confused.
Yeah.
And I don't actually know what to do.
Right. And then you get stuck there.
And they get stuck up here.
Yeah.
Now, I left the corporate world in 2006.
Yeah. Let's go
and
back to
moved to the beach, had a shop on the beach, tripled its sales, tripled its profit, and had a wonderful time.
Well, that's
and at the same time, I built up my coaching business.
You were like, you left your corporate job and opened a shop on the beach.
Yeah.
Like that in itself is, I quit. I'm going to open a shop on the beach. You know, that alone.
Well, my boss came back to me and he goes, when I said, look, I quit, here's my 4 weeks notice.
Yes.
He said to me, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm moving up to the Gold Coast in Australia and I'm opening a shop on the beach.
And again, this is instinct. You just.
And he's going, oh, so I can't really offer you more money then to stay, can I? And I went, no. No, I was on a 6-figure salary anyway.
He knew you were following your heart.
And he knew I was out of there. And they replaced me with 2 people.
That's great. That's a good little.
Well, if you that's good for the old ego to go, you have to replace me with 2 people.
I know. Which the ego is not always bad. Come on, people. It's good for
No, the ego is really important. I can only do this right now by having my ego empowered. I'm not doing this from a place of arrogance or a place of, look at me, I'm better than everybody else.
That's the difference. Yeah. That's the difference.
I'm doing this from my heart because I want somebody who's watching to feel it.
Yes.
That's all that matters. If I touch somebody's heart through doing this, my day is done.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
And I know I've touched yours, so that's even better.
Yeah, you did. You really gave me an answer to something that has been, I've been struggling with for years, honestly, because I thought it was all about protecting, shielding, you know, all this pushing away. And I never thought to just bring it down and to
put it in your heart.
Like how simple.
Wrap it in love, and
it's always
easy.
Simple.
And this is it. This is the secret to intuition. If you want to sell the secret to intuition,
let's sell the secret to intuition.
Put it in your heart.
Put it in your heart.
Wrap it in love, and watch what happens.
And truly, truly feel it.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I do have to say this though. I sometimes I come across people who are these self-proclaimed, you know, healers and whatnot, and they'll surface people's pain, and then they're just like, just love and light it away. And I hate that, because I think I call them the white light bullshitters of the world. Yeah. And so let's explain the difference between just love and light, just the solution to everything, versus truly becoming centered, truly going into your heart space, truly going into love. Can we touch on that?
Okay. To actually achieve that place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I told you set the bar high today.
I didn't need to.
Oh, it's okay.
I have a whole different vision for today.
Yeah, I know.
20 minutes ago, I went with my intuition.
To set yourself into that place, there's one thing that you have to understand.
Okay.
Now, everybody listening will understand the analogy of when you're at the airport, you submit your luggage, it goes through screening, and it ends up on one of those little trolleys. Mm-hmm. And that trolley is hooked together with another trolley and another trolley and another trolley. And there's about 8 trolleys, and it's got a little cart at the front, little engine at the front with the wonderful man on it, and he zooms it around and doesn't smack into any planes on the way. Mm-hmm. And with a bit of luck, your bag gets thrown into the cargo hold, or placed gently into the cargo hold, and follows you.
Okay.
Our lives, we are that engine. And we have those little carts behind us. And those bags are our crap. Now, what a lot of the white, like you say, the white lighted bullshit brigade will say is, okay, now just go to that and open it up and love it.
Yes.
No.
Right. Or abandon it.
Yeah. Or yes, abandon it. Forget all about it.
Yes. That's it.
No, you can not have it at the forefront of your mind.
Yeah.
But forgetting about it won't solve it, won't be the solution to the problem.
Right.
See, those carts are your history. And so if you think about every 10 years as one cart, now I'm 50, I've got 5 carts. Now I have a choice. Some of those carts can be really heavy because of what happened in my life.
Yes.
Now, if I'm honest to myself about them, there's some things on those carts that I am ashamed of. I'm embarrassed about, that I love, that I hate, that I am emotionally committed to. And there are regrets there. There are all types of emotions on each cart. Now, the second that you look at that cart, that you look at what's in those bags and you own it and you accept it, and you accept the dark with the light.
Yes.
I have done some wonderful things in my life. And I've done some shit, dumb things too. Excuse my language.
That's okay here.
But I've done some crap. I'm making you cry again, aren't I? Yeah? I've done some bad things in my world. And do they still haunt me every now and again? Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But I'm honest about them.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean I go around the world going, look at me, I'm a terrible, terrible soul. Because back in 2005, I dated 5 girls in 1 week.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, but I only dated those 5 girls in that 1 week once each.
That's okay, man.
You know, it's sort of, well, that was your history, and I can look at it and go, oh,
love it.
What kind of a guy are you?
But still feel the love for the appreciation of the lessons that were learned, the journey that got you to where you are. And
I met some amazing people.
Of that love where that's placed. And it is not any coincidence to me that you use the analogy of the airport and luggage and bags, because I will literally, I will share something. When my husband and I lost our first child, and I was about 28 weeks pregnant, so she was a stillbirth.
Oh, wow.
And Lillian Sage, she's beautiful. And it's been 10 years. And
yeah, but it still hurts.
It still hurts.
Yeah.
Even though I can feel her and she's in such a happy place, like she told me once, she showed up to very excitedly tell me, as like a woman, and she was like in her 20s, and to tell me that she's had achieved some big accomplishment and was an angel for other people. And I thought, and she was very proud that she had achieved this status, and it was really neat. But anyway, I literally have all of her things in a bag that I have not opened in 10 years.
So open it.
So I don't think your analogy is coincidental at all. So that's anyway, but I'll just share that. That's why I got emotional. But I will just share that raw moment because I want to be vulnerable for people listening too. Well, we can. And before we recorded, we just wanted to set such a safe space for today. So, but okay.
So breathe.
Yes.
Just sit and breathe and let me talk for a minute.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Okay, because it'll give you a chance to come back.
Okay.
So here's what you do. Open the bag.
Okay.
Look at her things. Have the cry.
Okay.
Be okay with the cry. Bring your husband. Say, honey, I want to open this bag with you. I love you so much.
I've never gone to her grave, and I tried to find it once, and she said, you can't come here without Daddy.
That's right. This is why my feeling is you both have to open the bag, then go to her grave.
And do it together.
And just love her and honor the moment. Now, before we go into the major part of my story, let me just tell you about something that happened because I was married previously before. Mm-hmm. And we had a cat. Okay. And the cat got Alzheimer's. She'd wake us up at 3 o'clock in the morning on the top shelf of the wardrobe. She'd forgotten how to get down. Oh. She had this 7-foot cat scratcher that she'd climb up and get onto the top shelf of the wardrobe.
Yeah.
And then she'd fall asleep, and then she'd wake up and she'd be lost.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It was Alzheimer's. Yeah. Alzheimer's and a cat. Anyway, so we had to have her put down. Oh. After a while, she got uncontrollable around her body functions, and so we had to have her put down. But we took her to the local vet. Mm-hmm. And the local vet was a very wonderful, wonderful, humane person. Amazing person. So we said goodbye to the cat, and we didn't want to watch her be put down. It's the last thing in the world I want to see. So we then went to our favorite cafe. Now, one of my things, are you familiar? Now, I know in the US they call scones biscuits, but I'm talking English scones, okay, as in English high tea, where they're about so big and so round, and they're fluffy and light and doughy, and you open them up and they're warm, and you put cream and jam on them, and they're extremely delicious.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
So we're sitting there, we've both got cappuccinos, we've got scones, we've got our jam and cream.
Excuse me.
And, oh, hello, I've got a cat just come next to me, and she's rubbing against me saying goodbye.
Oh, sweet.
And then she went over, said goodbye to my ex-wife, and off she went. Mm-hmm. Do you think now I have this wonderful feeling about that cat this wonderful piece about that baggage.
Yes.
Now, because of the energy work that I'm capable of, I used to be a Reiki Master, and I say used to because the term Reiki Master doesn't really cover what I do anymore.
Right.
Because I have my own modality and my own methodologies now. And because of everything that I've studied and my own abilities, I do things a different way. And my old Reiki Master, I did a session on him one day, and he just went, "What did you do?"
That was not Reiki.
That wasn't Reiki.
Yeah.
I have a technique where I use a bulldozer and I bulldoze your energy field clean. And it really cleans you out. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
As we acknowledge that piece of baggage and we feel the emotions, it doesn't have any power over us.
This is true.
Now remember what we said about hiding from the emotions, hiding from our past. When you hide from it, it has power over you. When you try to forget it, it has power over you. So the more you acknowledge, now this doesn't mean going out publicly and acknowledging things publicly.
Right.
It doesn't mean making a big deal out of stuff. It just means being honest with yourself. No one else. You don't have to tell the world. You don't have to put it on Instagram or Facebook or do a Facebook Live and I did this.
Or a show.
Or a show. You don't have to go on Dr. Phil or Oprah or...
Then breathe and stop talking and just feel it.
Just stop talking, feel it, get on with it.
Love that.
And from there, you end up with a major release. Now, most people today are afraid of having a release, an emotional release.
This is
because
true.
what happens is when they go, like you, and I've dealt with a lot of families who have lost their loved ones, be it from babies through to teenagers, 20s, through to
grandparents, probably, right?
And the thing is, most people are afraid that if they go and look at that bag, they're going to spiral into depression. Okay? Now, this is where my caveat comes in.
Okay.
You can look at it. You can have an experience, but then take yourself to a safe place. My safe place was that cafe, drinking a cappuccino and eating scones.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I want you to do is when you go and you have a look at the bag, and then you and your husband go to the grave and say goodbye and feel the freedom. Because she's free.
Yeah, she is.
But you're not. And it's time for you to be free. So the way for you to now be free is once you've been to the grave, then go to somewhere that is your favorite place. Go to somewhere that brings joy into you. And while you're there, celebrate whatever that situation was. Now, you could have done, now that's in a great grief situation. Let's imagine you've done something really bad to somebody else. How can you celebrate doing that? No, you celebrate that you were honest to yourself about it. You're not celebrating that but I dated 5 women in 1 week. I'm celebrating the fact that I am honest about it. That I was honest publicly about it.
I felt it.
And I felt it.
That's very powerful.
And why did I stop? Because my integrity was up for question. I didn't feel like I was being me. I didn't like what I was becoming.
Right.
And I stopped it. And I'm really proud of myself for that.
As you should.
And I can celebrate being proud of myself for stopping that behavior. I'm not necessarily proud of myself for what I did. I'm proud of myself for understanding who I am and stopping or changing that behavior.
Wow.
You feel the difference there.
It's so much lighter. It's
Yeah.
so much more expansive.
And you don't spiral into depression then.
No.
Because you're not torturing yourself constantly. That's what depression is. Depression is you taking a big red hot knife and stabbing yourself in the back every time you feel good.
Right.
Because you're saying to yourself, I do not deserve to feel good.
Yes.
And if I feel good, I am not being honest because I have something that I'm ashamed of, sad about, angry about, whatever the excuse is.
Yes. I mean, and granted, we're not, minimizing anyone who has true, honest to God, chemical imbalances that, we're not saying don't get treated if you get treated, but in
treatment
the sense of emotion,
is helpful.
In that place of feeling depressed or feeling where you are in that place of just punishing and spiraling and really being stuck in that of where you're torturing yourself because of guilt or because of shame. That's amazing. Instead of going see it, acknowledge it, and be grateful for what it taught you in the experience is very beautiful. That's
exactly. So then let's carry on. In 2011,
go back
let's carry on. I left the shop. I was doing coaching.
Thank you, though.
Doing all sorts of fun things.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Jake.
Oh, it's important, darling. It's really important.
I hope it helps someone else as well. So
It will.
Okay. So, yes, the shop on the beach.
Yeah, so I sold the shop and went full-time into my coaching and web design company. Mm-hmm. Then I was doing a lot of channeling as well. Mm-hmm. You're familiar with Esther Hicks? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I was basically doing an Aussie version of Esther Hicks.
That's very neat.
And I remember having an event one day where we had a few people from the local community come who are very spiritual, and they did their own channeling and so on.
Right.
And I'm sitting there and I start channeling, and one of the people asks me a question and I give this amazing answer. And then she challenges it.
Ooh.
And I then give more of an answer.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry.
And we then have this wonderful backwards and forwards, powerful debate. Mm-hmm. Well, these other people who are channelers, they were of the, you sit back, whatever is channeled is never questioned, never challenged, and never disturbed.
Wow.
Me, on the other hand, I'm full on. Open-eye channeling, full-on interactivity, away you go.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I'll cut that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you will. Stories there.
Okay.
So let me just think back. Rewind.
I know, right? So the part I just cut out was the part where Jake was doing some healing work with me, and I was bawling my eyes out, and I don't have my makeup to touch up, so.
Yeah, but I mean, but look at how beautiful you are anyway. So, a couple of streaky lines down don't really matter.
I know.
And I'm joking. I've got no makeup on at the moment,
You look lovely though. But how funny, people watching, it's like the transition.
Hang on.
Wait, what? Something's different.
What just something? Yeah, something just happened. What happened with their
That is cut out for now, maybe.
Yeah. Now let me just think about. Now, what was I talking about? This guy. Yeah. Rang me and what did we say? I can't remember that story right. Yeah. So let's go to the one with endometriosis.
Yes, yeah. Called you, right?
This is somebody that this is a new person.
Oh, this new one. Okay.
Brought into my life.
Okay.
I felt I needed to talk to her, and I was talking to her about business and finance and the location that she's living in Seychelles. Very, very beautiful location with resorts and stuff. And I'm looking for a place to take Sveta on a holiday.
Oh.
So it was a perfect chance for us to chat. Anyway, she was telling me about how she was doing IVF, and I've worked with lots of couples who've done IVF.
Okay.
And I've had success where IVF hasn't.
That's great. That's great.
That doesn't mean I've been the impregnation process. Right. It means that energetically, Yeah, I've had people go, what? Did you actually? And no,
No.
don't go there.
A very understanding wife.
I'd have to be very understanding too. Anyway.
Just helping with some emotional work.
Yeah, so what happened with her was we were talking about things and I looked at her and I went, okay, now I asked her permission.
Mm-hmm.
Now with clients and those sorts of scenarios, I always ask permission to do any energetic work.
Always.
Unlike right now when I just worked on you, we're friends, darling. Well, I've already got permission. That's long gone.
When you're ready.
I can wander around your energy field for hours. It's fun. It's like a playground.
Good. You're
but this
welcome
is again,
there.
like I said, I learned techniques. I'm just going to digress from that endometriosis story for a second. I learned techniques where I can walk into people's energy fields. I can walk around their heads. I walk around people's brains. I can go through any part of their body. And I don't have to be in the room with them.
Yes.
They can be remotely
viewed. This is a part of too where you did very well, and because we haven't even gotten to that piece of the story too, where in your career where you've helped the police force solve crimes, you've done a lot. So I mean, this is very, that's why I just want people to understand this is very serious. It's like that Jake is the real deal. So
what I did was with this lady, I asked her permission. She said, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a look and I went, okay, here's what's happening. Your sacral is all blah, blah, blah. And I gave her some really information. And then I gave her some techniques and some tools. And she goes, how do you know I'm doing that now? Or I want to go down that path. And I went, my job.
I'm guiding you.
It's what I do.
Yes.
And so now here we are. What I did was with this lady, I asked her permission. She told me about her IVF and I had a look at her energy field and then I gave her some solutions. And the solutions were ones that she looked at me and she went, yes. That's exactly what we need. And she goes, I've been thinking about doing something, but I didn't know where to start.
Interesting.
You just told me where to start.
That's great.
And I said, now do the actions. Because what I do, I tell people to take actions. So in our situation, I told you to take some actions.
Yeah.
Now, with those actions, if you don't do them, you're not going to get the results. You're not going to get the relief.
Okay. Right.
And I've had people where I've given them actions and they do them. And I'll tell you about this in a moment. Let's move quickly on.
Okay.
I want to get to the raw part of my story. Okay. The big part.
Yes. Okay.
It's funny, we've been on here for quite a while and we've talked about all sorts of things except the part that we were actually going to talk about in the beginning.
I think it's me. I swear I'm horrible. I feel like I'm this, like time just disappears when I'm with people. It just goes away.
Well, I heard you,
but it feels that way.
I heard you earlier today on Snapchat saying, I love it when these 1 hour calls go to 3.
Oh, yes. Yesterday, my client yesterday.
So let's just move on because I got, okay, so back in 2011, let's go to 2011.
Late where you are.
It's 8:35 here.
That's like my bedtime, if I can manage it.
So the in 2011, in December 2011, I was in a relationship. It was with a really, really lovely person, very, very special person. And we were planning a future. She was also psychic. Now, I was meditating and I heard, get rid of everything. Sell it all. Close down your business. Sell your car. You're leaving Australia in July 2012.
You had a date?
And I'm going, I don't normally get dates. I don't like getting dates. I don't want to do dates. Don't give me dates.
But you had a deadline. You did.
and see, my ex-girlfriend and I, we were
So nothing was
on,
particularly bad. It was
no,
it was all
it
fun.
was really
It
good.
was good. And then you get this,
That was my
let it all
Christmas
go.
present. Yeah, that was my Christmas present from the angels, and from my guides. You know,
Yeah.
let's just screw around with them at Christmas time. So then in February, we went to the Conscious Life Expo in LA, and I met a TV producer. And he saw what I was doing, and I was doing back-to-back readings. I did a speech on the Friday night about how to find your soulmate.
Oh, wow.
And what I do works. Then the next day I did back-to-back readings for 12 hours. 10 to 15 minute readings, back-to-back.
That's amazing.
Then the Sunday, the producer, he'd watched me on the Saturday doing what I was doing. And then he approached me and he said, can I see you tomorrow? And so Sunday he came back, and I took a little bit of time out, and we went upstairs and stood in the corridor in the hotel and I did an audition for him.
Right.
Then he said, right, let's meet for breakfast this week. So I went and had breakfast with him later that week. And I remember we were sitting opposite the Beverly Center in LA. And we were at this little cafe there, beautiful little cafe. And I'm having breakfast, and he hands me this folder. And in the folder are some maps and some drawings and some CDs.
Okay.
And he says, now go back to Australia, have a look at these pictures. I won't tell you what they are, and record whatever you get.
Okay.
Now that recording is now available on YouTube. So if you look up JAYC RYDER on YouTube, you'll see there's a 16-minute video called Roanoke Audition, and it was about Roanoke, Virginia, where the first settlers came. Now I knew zero about US history. Okay?
I'll put that in the link too. I'll put that in the description box too.
I knew.
Sure, I'll put it like up here.
I knew zero.
Okay.
And I looked at, and I went home.
Started in Virginia, you said?
It's in Roanoke, Virginia.
Okay, that's it. Okay, interesting. Yes.
Now, what then happened, and I've learned this after the fact of the recording. When you see the recording, you'll just go, oh my goodness. Anyway, we came back to Australia, and that was pretty much the end of my relationship. On and off then for a couple of weeks. And it finished.
Did it begin to feel different, or were you just very clear?
There were all, it was like it was out of our control. What was happening was out of our control. Situations that just, neither of us had control over. And there'd be a situation to set her off. Yeah. And there'd be a situation to make me distant.
Yes.
And it was like we had been energetically disconnected.
Wow.
And here we were trying to keep the friendship and keep the communication, and it just wouldn't work.
Right.
And so that relationship ended.
Right.
But before
her being instinctual as well and intuitive, I'm sure that was something that maybe she could feel. I would hope she could feel as well. So that, yeah.
So it was difficult. It was a difficult time for everyone. And basically, I'd done my recording. I'd done my audition for the US producer. Sent it to him. And we had a Skype. And he said, right. Well, this area that you're talking about is called Roanoke.
Okay.
I didn't know that. And on the video, you'll see right on the beach, there's a dead guy living there, and there's an airport here, and there's dead people there, but that's just boring. There's this area here, and the Native Americans won't let me go into that area. I can't look at that area. And he's I'm pointing out on the map, and he goes, and this area you can't, I'm not allowed to look at.
Yes.
There's something energetically there that I'm not allowed to look at. He goes, well, actually, we've had proof of that too.
Because
So my accuracy is going bang. It's 100%. I'm ticking off all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was an area where, okay, there's this guy here, this creek here, this river thing here. Someone was drowned because of blah, blah, blah. And here was this happening. And there's all sorts of stuff in there. It's really quite interesting.
Download. Well,
yeah, it was amazing because I'm actually holding my little iPhone, and filming myself while I'm doing it, because the cameras, the two cameras that I was meant to use, they both died.
Yes.
Because energetically it was too strong.
Yes.
But my phone, my old iPhone, was at the same energy as myself, and it was protected, so it would work in my energy field.
Yep. Okay. So he's blown away.
He's blown away by it, but the TV show invitation didn't occur.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's okay. I had an audition tape on YouTube.
Okay.
I then got an email from my ex-girlfriend saying because she was a member of the Australian Psychics Association and was publicly listed. I wasn't publicly listed on the association because I'm not a member.
Okay.
And I don't like going into these associations simply because I see people of ego measuring, assessing without integrity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they put themselves on such a high pedestal that no, you sit on the toilet pretty much the same way I do.
Yes.
You have put your feet in the pants you put your legs in one foot at a time. Mm-hmm. We all, you're human.
Human, yes.
We're all the same.
Yeah.
We're all equal.
Yes, equal.
You want to judge me? No.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If you want to judge me, great.
But
that's your world, not mine. I don't need your approval. I don't need someone to judge me. I don't need your ego to give me approval.
Yes.
So anyway, she'd received an email from a television channel in Ukraine saying we do a psychic reality TV show.
Oh.
A competition called Battle of the Psychics. It's actually Bitva Extrasensitive. And today it's in its 17th or 18th season.
Wow.
Okay, so you think of The Simpsons, they're up at about season 30. Well, this is at season 18.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, she sent me the email saying, this is probably your scene, not mine, because she had a couple of kids, so she couldn't be away for any extended period of time. Yes. So I looked at it and I sent off a bit about me with the link to my YouTube video.
Okay.
A couple of weeks later, I get a phone call.
Yes.
Jake, Yudoslav from SGB. And he's got this amazingly beautiful accent.
Right.
And
I'm sure.
my first thing, and he says, blah, 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 the show is in July 2012. You would have to come for 1 week. You would audition, and then you go back to Australia for a week. And if you're approved for the show, if you pass the audition, you then come back for 6 months or up to 6 months, depending on your elimination.
Wow.
And I went, yeah. And he goes, we want you to come. Now that approached other Australian psychics as well, including the head of the association and a few other of the famous psychics.
Yeah, the big shot.
And they basically all got passed over for me. So either those people couldn't come for various reasons, but they ended up choosing me. Now, they approached thousands of psychics in Australia to try to get them to come just for the auditioning. Now, they would bring multiple people from countries for auditioning. But in this case, they only chose me. So I'm thinking, woohoo, my intuition's wonderful.
Right, yes.
I told my flatmates, I'm leaving in July to go to Ukraine. wherever that is. Slight problem. 3 weeks later, I get a phone call. Jake, it's Yugoslav. I'm sorry. What are you sorry for? X Factor has gone over budget. You know the show X Factor?
Yes.
Yeah. They've gone over budget, so they've taken our budget.
Oh.
We can't afford to fly you over.
Oh.
But we like you so much.
With network.
We'll bring you into the next season. We'll make sure you come next season. And I'm going, okay. And I'm looking going, yeah, no, I'm not in next season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be there in season 12. Okay. So I'm now meditating going,
now
what do I do?
Yeah.
Now what? Sell your car.
What? Get there. Wow.
Okay, get rid of the car. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What else? All the other furniture as well. Why? You're leaving in July 2012.
Gee.
Hurry up. It's about April by now. And I'm sort of going, but get rid of everything. So over the coming months, I get rid of everything. It's the end of June and I'm down to a bed, bedside table, my meditation chair, and 60 kilos of stuff.
Okay.
No car, no business.
What can fit in a suitcase?
No job, no nothing. And it's sort of, well, what do I do now? Meditate. And I hear move to Sydney. I was in Brisbane and I heard move to Sydney. So, okay. How do I get to Sydney from Brisbane? If I fly, I've got 60 kilos of luggage, too expensive.
Right.
I can't drive down, I don't have a car.
Right.
If I rent a car, it's going to be like $600 because of the stupid fees that they put on you. And fuel and blah, blah, and hours of driving. I'm sort of going, okay, get the train.
Okay.
So I booked the train for the Friday. I organised a truck for the Thursday to come and take my bed away. I donate my bed to the Salvation Army. I just wanted to get rid of stuff.
Right.
Wednesday night, I'm watching the full moon come up over my favourite beach in Brisbane.
Okay.
I've just had fish and chips from my local fish shop and it's just beautiful. It's 6:40 p.m. Now I know that time very well because my phone rang.
Okay.
Hello, Jake. It's Yugoslav from STB.
Okay.
Jake, can you be in Ukraine on Saturday?
Okay.
No. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I've got a truck coming tomorrow. I'm on the train for 12 hours on Friday. I have to go to Canberra to get a visa. I've got commitments. I can't. Canberra is 1,500 kilometres from me.
Oh my word.
I can't just get there and I've already got commitment.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let me talk to the producers.
Okay.
So he said he'll call me back. Now I'm walking along the beach, waiting for my phone to ring again. It was the longest 45 minutes of my life. I'm also realizing I've just said no to them. And I'm going, okay, intuition, angels, guides, whoever you want to call them.
Yeah.
What now? Have I just screwed up? And I heard, relax, enjoy the moon.
Okay. Okay. Just breathe.
Okay, bring it on.
Okay.
I've just got to allow, don't I?
Yes.
So I allow. My phone rings. Jake, I've spoken to the producers. We've just had another look at your video. Because it's an audition process, next week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there are auditions. Now, to help you, and because of what we saw, you have been passed on the first task, which would be filmed Monday. You've also been passed on the second task, so you're now in the top 20.
Oh.
Before you even arrive.
That's fantastic.
So we'll book your flight for Wednesday. You'll arrive on Thursday. And I said, yeah, what about my visa? And he said, I will send the embassy a letter, a fax, and they will help you.
Yes.
So on the Tuesday, I arrive at the embassy in Canberra.
Okay.
I walk in, hand them my passport, and they go, oh, you're very important. Am I? Yes, we have to give you every courtesy. Go pay the fee, and in 20 minutes, your visa will be ready.
20 minutes? That's like unheard of.
Yeah.